Welcome along to Obsession Engineering, and I'm back at Brands Hatch. I was here last weekend for the British Superbike round in my crew chief role, but this week is a little bit different. I should be doing something similar because I had a message from one of my mates saying, can I come and give him a hand for the weekend? So I've turned up to give him a hand, and then I phoned up the No Limits office and they had room on the grid. So I've brought my BMW along and I'm going to have a ride around. I'm going to go motorbike racing on a modern motorbike, on slicks, in the sunshine, at Brands Hatch, what might be the best circuit in the UK because it's the Grand Prix circuit. And I'm rather looking forward to it. I'm also slightly nervous. This is like the test afternoon just before it, and I've managed to squeeze on for a couple of sessions. I've not ridden around the Grand Prix circuit in 19 years since I did Superstock. I mean, I know where it goes, but doing it quickly is going to be hard work, I suspect. And also, I've only done one race meeting this year, and it wasn't on my BM, it was on a ZXR 750. So this is the first time I've actually ridden a modern bike on slick tyres on a racetrack this year. Everybody else is up to speed. I might be getting my arse kicked, but I'm here basically to have some fun and remember why I love motorbikes. And so I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. So my first session is out in a couple of minutes. I'll see you when I get back. I probably won't look this cool when I get back, if this is what looking cool looks like. I went out and I went, I know exactly where I'm going, I know exactly where the corners go, and I've got a reasonable idea of the markers from doing track walks with Franco and the boys last week. They're doing it faster than me, I will admit, and it took a little bit of getting back used to riding a sports bike and trying to actually ride fast, basically. Yeah, and obviously I wasn't lap timing because it's a track day and that wouldn't be allowed, but if I work it off the clock in my head, I'd reckon a 1:43.5, which is 18 seconds slower than Franco's been around here, and 10 seconds slower than Iliam's been around here, basically the session before me. So I think I know which one of us is probably going to do better in the races tomorrow. But this place is great to ride. It's awesome being back on a bike, and yeah, I'm going to get faster, and as long as I'm still smiling, that'll be all right. That is my day of riding done. I've had 3 sessions around the brilliant Brands Hatch GP circuit. The circuit is sublime. The bike is mostly doing what it's supposed to do. There is one slight thing that I'm definitely going to change for tomorrow. And don't get me wrong, it's not stopped me enjoying my day today, but it has limited how quickly I feel I can go. So we better go and have a look at it. So, the thing that makes the most difference to lap times, tyres. So, I have a slick on the bike. This is a TT slick from Mr. Whedon, from Tom, who rode my bike at TT. And this is the second one I've tried, because the first one, in the second session, as soon as I tried to go a little bit quicker, off the throttle turning into Westfield over the bump, the bike went and it's sort of on your knee and coming round on me, and I'm not going very fast yet. Do not by any stretch think that I'm at the limit of what this bike should be doing around this racetrack. Now, I'm not going to actually name and shame what the tyres are, but it turns out Tom's been doing TT on what is in effect a track day slick. And then when you try and go relatively quick on it, it's not very nice. And for me as well, the way it slides, because I put a lower mileage one in for the last session, and when it's on the side of the tyre, somewhere like Druids, where you just try and crack the throttle open on the side of the tyre, it's not a nice slide, it's not like a gradual like arc like that, it sort of snaps. And it doesn't do a big slide, it just like snaps and kicks a little bit, and it's not a great feeling. So I didn't really feel I wanted to push any harder on those. So tomorrow we'll be putting some Dunlops back in it. But other than that, the bike is behaving itself. I am going to change the gearing because we're a little bit lazy, and so we can make it a little bit sharper with some gearing, and I'm going to put my slightly better brake setup back on it as well, because it's on the super stock setup, which is absolutely great round TT where you don't use the brakes that hard, but round here I just wanted a little bit more power. And the other set of brakes I've got the monoblock calipers, and I've got a big Brembo mass cylinder as well. So we're going to have a little bit more stopping tomorrow, and we're going to have a little bit more grip tomorrow, and then there's going to be even more smiles tomorrow. Riding motorbikes is pretty cool, especially riding fast motorbikes, somewhere where you can go fast. And branded GP is fast. So basically, yeah, fast things make me happy. Morning, it's Saturday. In about 10 minutes I'm going to go out for a 12-minute qualifying session. I am looking forward to it because overnight me and Ilian, we looked at some data, we went to walk a lap, which helped me build some markers in my head, because I knew where I was going because I've walked loads of laps with Franco and a load of the really fast boys, but some of that information isn't necessarily completely relevant to the speed I'm going. And what I really wanted was reference marks, and so especially at say Paddock Hill Bend, I've now got something to aim for before I turn in, to so I don't creep into the corner too early, and I've got something to aim for to mark basically where the apex should be for me, because it's quite blind, and so I've tried to add some visuals so that I can link the dots together and hopefully go faster, because seeing where you're going is quite important, and so that's it. It was just building the markers up in my head. I then sat in the van and got Tim Neve on my phone and watched his fast bikes video lap where he shows you some markers and bits to use, which was interesting because his markers, because he's going quite a lot quicker than me, earlier than I would have gone for braking markers and stuff. But it's good, some of the extra references he adds in, so I'll put a link in the corner to Tim Neve's fast bikes lap of Brands Hatch. It's really good. BMW now has Dunlops in it, which I will be more comfortable with, and hopefully they will give me more grip and I can go a little bit faster. And I will admit, I'm going to be towards the back of the Premier 1000 Super Series thing, and I'm okay with that. There is an extra reason that I'm here, and I need to be a bit sharper and a bit more bike fit for later in the year, because there is something going on, which we will tell you about in due time. But yeah, really, I get to ride around on my motorbike. It's going to get me sharper, it's going to get me bike fitness up, and I get to play around a brilliant racetrack. So, right, let's try and go a bit quicker. Sticky tyres! Sticky tyres! Tyres that grip the tarmac and actually drive the bike forwards. I am still getting used to the grip. I've spent a lot of time this year riding around Blighton, coaching with Rapid, but on basically touring tyres on my Aprilia, and you get used to the level of grip you've got. And don't get me wrong, Michelin Pilot Road 6s are awesome because you can ride them in the wet, like really quite hard, and they'll do a reasonable pace around Blighton Park or track. They are incredibly good, but they're not a race tyre. You put a race tyre in, not the track day race fake slick things that were on yesterday, a proper pucker race tyre, and where I was opening the throttle yesterday the thing was just fidgeting and spinning, now I open the throttle and things trying to wheelie and just grip and drive forward. But I don't know how early I can open the throttle yet. Well, I do, it's much earlier, but I'm not doing it. Anyway, I'm talking really fast because I'm kind of excited because it's been a good session. And when I say a good session, don't get me wrong, I'm last but two, but I'm not last. The boys at the front are doing 29s. I'm doing 37.6. No, 37.4. So I've knocked 3 and a bit seconds off from yesterday, which is mega, so we're definitely going in the right direction. Knowing where I'm going has definitely helped as well. So grip and knowing where you're going, important things. and my brain's getting used to the speed. Because end of the back straight now, I'm focusing on a braking marker and holding the throttle until the braking marker, not going down there and going, ah, it's really, really fast, and then panicking basically and rolling off early. So I'm getting better, the bike's better, yeah, it's better going faster. It is about after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun is beating down. It is a beautiful day at Brands Hatch, and I'm about to go out for my first race on my BMW all year, and my first race since the 1st of April. So this could be exciting. I am 30th on the grid, so there is very little chance of me winning anything, but I'm going to go out there, try and chip away at my lap times, basically try and improve myself, and if I manage that, I'll be happy. See you in a few. I am not cool. Definitely not cool. Turns out also probably not really race fit. I have not been training to the amount I would normally train to because, well, I'm not going to TT anymore, and work has been very, very, very busy with BSB stuff and rapid stuff and all that. So I've not trained very much. And we got started, red flag, restarted, 8 laps. I was last. I think I did the same lap time I did in quali, so not the improvement I was hoping for, but felt more consistent doing it. And yes, that was hard work. Mr. Freeze is calling me down though, so that helped. Turns out my relaxing afternoon is also not happening because I've agreed to help a young lad called Luca, who's a 600 rider. I've agreed to help him do the endurance. So, I mean, I'll be on the BM. So I've got another hour and a half of riding to do this afternoon. We're going to need more Mr. Freezes. I've moved up in the world because I'm back in pit lane at BSB. It's like being, well, actually this might be the garage we had last weekend with Franco, but last weekend we didn't have Milky laying on the floor putting numbers on my bike, so he's enjoying this really. He's got a smile on his face because we're going motorbike racing and there's just a hint of chaos to everything. Right, we've had to put some number 3s on because Luca, who we're racing with, he's number 3 for the race, so I've covered my 5s up. I mean, I look like a 600 now, but hopefully people will think the lap times are suitable for a 600 as well. Right, same front tyre I've been using all morning, a 3 compound Dunlop that was actually brand new, that was destined to do 6 laps round the TT last year and never did, so it was on a rim already. That's how little I've been riding recently. Right, and we'll go and meet Luca and the rest of the team.
Not last minute at all.
No,
not at all.
This is exactly how we're supposed to go racing, isn't it?
Yeah. Last minute, just about get done, but we'll get it.
Yeah. So tell me, your mate had a bit of a mare this morning. And,
Yeah.
This is why we've had an emergency reteaming.
Yeah. So I had a slight detour into Paddock Hill Bend this morning. So had a quick run around the paddock, found Dave, and we're going to have it large.
Yeah. Right, I'm assuming we're starting at the back because I haven't qualied.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, the pace I'm riding this weekend, we might stay at the back, but we're going to have fun and just get some laps in on this great circuit, aren't we?
Yeah, wicked track. So just have a bit of fun. And to be fair, at the end of the day, it's night, so just have it large, really.
Right, so they've all gone past. Luca is a cool customer. I said to him, don't stress on the first lap. We're not going to be winning it. Your tyres will be a little bit down on temperature and stuff. And he just went, I'm not even going to run across the track. I'm just going to saunter across and just get on the bike. And he did. He wandered across like they had no care in the world, slung a leg over it, hit the starter and fired off down towards Paddock Hill Bend. And we still weren't last because there was people rushing and faffing. And I think he is a cool customer, he is. Talking of cool, I'm going to go sit in the shade and put my feet up for half an hour.
Well, here we are, folks. We're 20 laps in. Dave's first stint on the bike now. He's been out for about 2 or 3 laps. He's settling in nicely. He's down to a 37.8, I think is his fastest one. We just stood out the back. Here he comes now. Here he comes. He's just pacing it on well now. There he comes, there he goes. Nice and smooth. Dave takes a little bit early there, Dave, I think. And away he goes. So he's doing good. Luca was going well as well. They're both in about 20th, 24th position, I think they are. So lads are doing good. Working their way up through, staying nice and consistent. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I was trying to count the laps in my head because I knew like 20 laps is about half an hour. As we haven't got a pit board because it's all been organised a little late. I enjoyed that. There was a point where I was like beginning to get tired and I thought backed it down a little bit, probably knocked a second a lap off and felt like I could just do that lap after lap, just sort of flowing and easy, just braking a little bit earlier, not as hard, just letting it roll through the corners and roll onto the throttle and stuff. And don't get me wrong, lap times aren't spectacular, but I'm enjoying that. Just a nice solid stint on the bike and I'm feeling more comfortable and yeah, it's good. I think I need to put some fuel in me and some fuel in the bike, see how long Lucas stays out for. Right, I've just done my second stint and I just used my lap timer as a session timer basically, but I did press it a couple of times and then stayed out for 30 minutes, so probably did 35 minutes. In fact, I know where I'm going now. I did hit the brakes quite hard at the end of every lap. And one lap, I did a little burpee in my mouth. And there might have been some Lucozade and Boost bar in it, and it was a bit lumpy in the mouth. And a little bit bitter. So, yeah, a little bit minging there, innit? Yeah, I threw up in my mouth. Twice, actually. But I didn't want to get it in the helmet, so got it back down. Yeah, so endurance racing is great. It's glamorous. I'm sweaty, I've got cramp, and I threw up in my mouth twice. Quite enjoyed it, though. All right. That was 3 hours between two of us riding around Brands Hatch, and I know my way round now, and I have a lot more markers, so that's a positive. I think the last lap was a 37 again, which this morning was hard work to do, and that felt like I was riding to the shops. So that is definitely an improvement because, in effect, I can do those times easy. Not saying I can actually go any faster, but that was spot on. That was hard work, mate, wasn't it?
It was very, very hard work, yeah. 2 sessions ago, a massive cramp in the leg, literally couldn't ride. Had to take the leg off whole way around the track, but yeah, came in at a quick pit stop, but yeah, very, very tough, but very enjoyable, very enjoyable. Lots of progress.
There's a sense of satisfaction in there when you've finished and you've had a big day out.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, that was all right.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, that was a good end to the day, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. I mean, on the timing sheet as we've crossed the line, we're 20th overall out of 42 teams that started, which I think is all right. There is a slight issue that we will get disqualified because this is a Pirelli race and I'm on Dunlops, but I'm not greatly fussed about that. So, in fact, my mate is just checking out that I'm going to get disqualified in a minute. But we haven't really turned up for that.
No.
We've turned up for the laps and for the fun, and just because we actually really enjoy riding motorbikes. And this place is cool. And we've gone fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And we've done some racing, and the weirdness is the last session actually felt the nicest because I'd sort of relaxed into it and I wasn't rushing in my head, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, mate.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, really, really good bit of practice. Just good fun riding around, not pushing for the limits, are you? Just having a bit of fun, getting some good laps down.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable.
Well, thank you for inviting me along, and
No
I
worries.
think it's time to sit down and have a drink.
Yeah, certainly. We've got Domino's on order.
Yeah. Cool. All right, and that'll do for today. I'll be back in the morning. Morning, or if I'm a bit more accurate, afternoon. We weren't supposed to be starting particularly early today. First bikes on track for warm-up were 10 o'clock. We were meant to be out for our first race at 12:30. Unfortunately, there has been a bit of a stoppage in an air ambulance visiting, so hopefully whoever was involved in an incident is on the mend and will be fighting fit and racing again before too long. But it has put us a bit behind schedule, so we're losing some laps today. But to be fair, I did do quite a lot of laps yesterday, so it's not the end of the world. We've not just sat around completely lazy. I've sat around a bit, admittedly. But, you know, the bike is prepped. And I've also been looking at data. So I've been looking at Ilian's data and comparing his data to Franco and some data I had from Tommy Bridewell from last week for a bit superbike. So it's Ilian's first year on a big bike, and obviously he's having to learn how to ride a big bike properly. And so his style is a little bit 600-esque. He runs more corner speed than Franco and Tommy, and in certain places, somewhere like Druids, he's actually apexing quicker than Franco was apexing, and even at Surtees before the back straight, he's apexing as fast as Tommy, actually 0.1 of a mile an hour faster than Tommy Bridewell. So Ilium Quayle is faster than Tommy Bridewell at an apex. Tommy is later on the brakes getting to it and opens the throttle considerably harder exiting, and so for the whole section Tommy's obviously considerably faster, and this is something Ilium's having to learn. So we've been talking about that, altering lines a little bit, where he turns in, how late he brakes, and we've made a few tiny little adjustments with his bike this weekend, but we've been mostly trying to work with getting him riding faster, which is great because he's young and the information is going in and he is doing what we're trying, but obviously you can't change it riding style instantly, so it's taking a little bit of time. And while I've been looking at his data, I've also been looking at mine, and that, I'm aware already, needs a little work. So my BMW is in an old 2D system, and because it's very bright and sunny here, it's difficult to see the traces. It's not as nice to use as the Motec system, but it does give me a basic insight. Now obviously I know that I'm not riding particularly fast. I've not done enough mileage on sticky tyres this year to actually have the trust to run the front into the corners faster. What I also definitely need to do, if you look at the throttle pickup traces, I'm picking the throttle up and it's quite leisurely the time it takes me to open the throttle and get to full throttle. It's sometimes way too long basically, and so what I need to do is basically open the throttle more aggressively, and this means I've got to trust that the back tyre has more grip, and I've just got to open the throttle on the side of the tyre more and be more aggressive continuing to open the throttle. My braking's not too bad. My throttle shut, they're not perfect, but they're not terrible. But I think my two main areas for increased speed is going to be literally carrying more speed through the middle of the corner, basically trusting the side of the tyre, and then opening the throttle earlier and harder, again trusting the side grip of the tyre, and that will give me more speed. If I open the throttle earlier, I will go faster down the straight. Then if I brake at the same point, I can carry a bit more speed in the corner because I'm going faster. That's the idea. Putting it into practice is always a little bit more difficult, but we'll see how I get on in the next race. Better start today. Then everybody still got me. I was last. But I did go a little bit quicker and I was more consistently like low 36s. My lap time I did a 36.0, but kind of depends when I press the button if I'm honest. Still need to do the same thing really. I just need to have that faith to crack the throttle on the side of the tyre. I'm going to put it out there. 58 laps of endurance yesterday. Definitely helped my course knowledge. Didn't, because I wasn't pushing like hell every lap, didn't help me pushing, and so it took me a little bit to wind up a little bit, and yeah, it was all right. I mean, it's still riding a motorbike round Brands GP, which is pretty ace. I'd just like to be doing it a little bit quicker still, so we've got another shot this afternoon. Might have a drink before that though, because I am quite warm. There are super twins riding round, and that means they're into the last race before my last race. And so I have 9 more racing laps to try and get within 10 seconds of Franco's qualifying time. If I can get a mid 1:35, I'm only 10 seconds off Franco. And don't get me wrong, I know I'm not riding to even my limit. It feels like I'm pushing on, but I know where there's areas I can improve. And basically at the moment I've got a big safety margin and I need to just trim that a little bit. When you're doing it on track and you're trying to go fast, of course, your concentration is 100% used on what you're doing, and so it's then difficult to find the improvements. So just before I go out, I'm coaxing myself, I'm doing a lap in my head just to try and pinpoint and get my markers right, so that hopefully when the lights change, I can be on it and try and go a bit faster. I'm not changing anything with the bike because it's not the bike. It could ride around here on its own without me, going probably faster than I'm going. But all I really want to do is go out. If I enjoy myself and come back in one piece, that'll do for a good weekend at Brands Hatch. If I do go a bit faster, it'll be even better. I'm a little bit warm again, which must mean I've finished riding my motorbike. I actually did overtaking, which meant I felt like I was racing somebody, and that makes the world a better place. So, don't get me wrong, still towards the back, but I overtook 2 people. And obviously I'd love to show you the footage of it, but I think the Insta360's just gone file corrupted, which is annoying, because it's quite new. But anyway, how did I go quicker? I was more aggressive. I was more aggressive hitting the brake, which meant I could just carry that speed a little bit longer, and I was a bit more aggressive with turning, so I could square the corners off a little bit, and so that was the improvement I made. I just had to basically put more effort in, frankly. So yeah, that was better. That was a motorbike race, and I believe I am now only 10 seconds off Franco's qualifying time. Yeah, 10 seconds lap faster than around here. Yeah, the boy can ride. And if there's one thing I dislike more than talented people, it's young talented people, because they always let you know. Anyway, I've had fun. Might go and cool out a bit, and yeah, call that a good weekend. And that is a wrap from Brands Hatch. I'd like to say thank you to Ilian, because it's his fault I'm here. He's been riding really, really well all weekend. Really consistent 1 minute 30s, even as the track temperature's gone up and the grip level's gone down. He stayed consistent. He's actually got better race pace race after race, and he's really getting to grip through the 1000. Special mention to Milky, because he actually managed to crash the push bike and basically save some wheels by sliding down on his face. And so he gets the special award for, you know, blood, sweat and tears for the team. And without him helping out all weekend, we wouldn't have had anywhere near as much success. So the important thing I've learnt this weekend is I need to ride my motorbikes more often to keep myself sharp. But this has still been great fun. Thanks to No Limits for squeezing us in. And mostly motorbike racing's awesome. So thanks for watching, and join us again next time for some more motorbike fun.